Mono red Wizards list that has been doing pretty well in Standard. The deck is fairly streamlined. It's very straightforward. With the emergence of Turbo Fog and other control shells trying to beat Turbo Fog, this deck really wants to try to just jump out and put a lot of damage and pressure on the slower control decks in the format. And so instead of trying to interact with those, like the mono green deck, some of them have tried to splash blue for negates, things like that. The red deck is really just trying to be as fast as possible. Our goal is to hit the gas pedal and just run over our opponents as quickly and efficiently as we can. So that means we're going to be running a lot of one drops. We're running, let's see, Flame of Keld. So Flame of Keld is 2 mana, you discard your hand. Next turn you draw two additional cards. You draw 3 cards of the turn, and the last turn is if a red source you control would deal damage to a permanent player, it deals that much damage plus 2 to that permanent player. Synergies with that are basically everything, with the exception of Bomat Courier. Now Wizard's Lightning is 1 mana, deal 5. Shock is 1 mana, deal 4. Goblin Chain Whirler is 3 mana, deal 3 to each of your opponent's creatures and 3 to your opponent. So it's just a massive explosion whenever that resolves. The hard part is you have to set. You're kind of playing a risk game because you're discarding your hand. So you really want to have a board state. You want to have a lot of these one-drop permanents in play. But because of Get to Lava Runner and Flamekeld, you want to really get cards out of your hand, even if you don't have them in your hand. Because if you top deck that card, you don't want to have a situation where you have to decide between playing Flamekeld or playing the cards you have in hand. So you want to burn through your hand and kind of be hellbent pretty quick. So that means you leave yourself a little bit open to negative effects. We also have Sideboard, carry Zev's Expertise for any decks with big creatures, Hazoret for some of the more grindy matchups that aren't running Settle, that don't have really traditional ways to kill Hazoret. We have Chandra's Defeat for the Mirror match, Insult Injury for the Fog decks, Cut to Ribbons, we're only playing it for the cut aspect, and that's against mono green. We have a Braid for maybe artifact-based decks, Godfrey's Gift, or other decks that will put a lot of not too big of creatures in the way that we want to kill, and Banefire will come in for the settle-based decks, the blue-white control decks. I haven't personally played it yet. Friend Mike Szynski went and his team top 15, the SCG team event. He played this deck. He did really well all weekend with it, so it's what I'm looking at possibly playing for the LCQ. A couple of different options I might consider, but I want to try this deck out and see how it goes. So we're going to go ahead and play a league match. We're doing it competitively because this deck is definitely competitive. Even though I don't really know all the formats, the angles, normally I'd want to play a friendly league. I want to make sure that I'm really testing the strength of this deck against players who are also in that same vein of competitive level. So, alright, so we're going to get some music going for myself in the background. See if the opponent will join us. Alright, we won the dice roll. That's something that's really important all the way through. Hello there. We want to win the dice roll every chance possible. Deck does only run 19 lands in the main deck, so these kinds of hands will happen. We don't like them, but we gotta send them away. This hand's slow, but at 6 cards, I really don't want to go to 5, so we're going to keep this one, but it's not great. We're going to bottom this, I think, because we're not really having a realistic set of turns that we're going to be playing these 2 drops, so we're going to put that on the bottom. Lightning Strike's great and all, but I really want to get a 1-drop, and I want to hit some lands. Those are the cards I'm looking for off that scry. So this way I can start playing multiple spells in a turn, and I can get my hand pretty close to empty before I play this Flamekeld. Red-black matchup I've heard is kind of tough, so we'll have to see how this goes. This is going to be really good if our opponent, target player or planeswalker, that's pretty good. So if our opponent goes like Scrap Heap here, this would be really good, because we're going to be able to take them to 14 before we have to do anything else, and we also did hit our 3rd land. Ideally, a 1-drop here would be great for our hand. A Shock, a Soulscar Mage, a Bomat Courier, or a Get2 Lavamancer. And this way we'd be able to play Bashano and the 1-drop. That's not what we want to see. The first strike on this carry Zev is really awkward. So because next turn we're going to be able to go Mountain, Flamekeld and Pyromancer in one turn. If we top deck a land, we don't mind discarding that to the Flamekeld's effect. So we're actually going to go Chain Whirler here, because it also interacts fairly well against Carry Zev. We can actually double block this Carry Zev if we want to. We would lose our Vishano, and then we'd eat the carry. We could also just block and kill the 2-1 and take 1, which is probably what we want to do because we are trying to set up this Flamekeld. So we want to make sure that we have as many things in play as possible. So when the Flamekeld hits level 3, we get the most off of it. Whirler's unfortunate because then we lose our Vishano. We're going to block the Monkey because the Carry Zev has Prowess. The Shock doesn't actually kill anything. So I think we're willing to let that go away just to get this Flamekeld in play. So we lose a Shock. We don't want to trade Chain Whirlers here, so we'll let that go. Ideally, we're going to draw 4 cards before the 3rd level, because we're going to draw 3 cards next turn and 1 card the following turn. So if one of the top 4 cards of our deck is another Chain Whirler, we get to just explode the opponent's board state. Scrap Heap Scrounger is fairly irrelevant to us right now. Alright, so we get to draw extra cards. This is really good. So we can Lightning Strike this Chain Whirler, which is what I think we want to do. Because if we Lightning Strike the Chain Whirler, it'll allow us to attack with our Goblin Chain Whirler. They could have a Shock or a Magma Spray to kill our Goblin Chain Whirler with their Carry Zev, but then we'd be 2 for 1-ing them. So I think that's what we want to do. I'm going to go and just get this Chain Whirler out of the way so our next turn's bigger. And we attack with this Chain Whirler. Excellent. Alright, so we really want either a Goblin Chain Whirler or a Shock or a Lightning Strike. We want some type of... We would love a burn spell off the top of the deck here. Because this Flamekeld's going to do a lot of work in a second. They're probably holding up a removal spell. Or they're just going to go Chandra, eat Chain Whirler. It's very possible. Yeah. Because they don't want me to get that extra effect off the Flamekeld. Well, that's disappointing. Alright, so we attack with everything. We see what their blocks are. And we want to attack him. We're just going to pressure. They're incentivized to block our Vishano. So with that in mind, I kind of want to go and pop this Bomat Courier now. Because if we hit a burn spell, we can just kill this Carry Zev. And that would allow us to hit them for 4, 8. Knock them to 4. So let's do that. Yeah, perfect. So now we kill this Carry Zev. Alright, so we knocked them to 4. We're fairly close to just finishing this game. A Lightning Strike off the top would basically be game over. Phoenix here. Or another Chandra, eat the Soulscar Mage. Or play a Chain Whirler. Oh, Cutter. That's fine. Alright, so we're going to attack them. They're at 2. All the burn spells in our deck are alive. Let's see what we've got. I don't think we're running any Abrades in the main. Yeah, we got a lot of outs right now. Just to finish the game immediately. They're going to have to use the Chandra to kill Chain Whirler. It looks like they're fairly low on removal spells. Yeah. Alright, so that Soulscar Mage is a little awkward because now I can't get in with these attacks, but that's okay. Lavamancer is at 2. Yeah, so we play this Lavamancer. The problem is if we attack, do we just die, right? Because they have this ribbons in the graveyard, so they can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at a quasi 3. We could attack with the Lava Runner at the opponent, forcing him to block with Soulscar Mage. We chump block his Scrap Heap Scrounger. We take 2, go to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if he hits a land, we're dead. We can also attack his Chandra. If we attack his Chandra, the most he can do is 4. We can't attack with both. We're going to need to keep something back, because if we attack his Chandra, he can just let it die. His Soulscar Mage is going to be bigger next turn. Let's hope he misses on a land drop. Force him to block with the Soulscar Mage. Because like we don't have very good blocks next turn if we don't attack. Because he's going to be able to flashback the ribbons. It's going to give his Soulscar Mage prowess. So he hits his land. So let's see if he ends up going through with the ribbons. Yeah. Might have been greedy, hoping they feint a untapped land. But, yeah. Alright. So we lose that one. Alright. Definitely want these Chandra's defeats. Cards we don't super love. I really don't care for Crop Crasher in this matchup. Flamekill is good. It's a little bit all in. So maybe we can go to 2 flames. I don't know if this is a deck we want flame against. Actually, I like Flamekill because this can be our home run. We need Shock. Doesn't have a lot of hits unless we have a popped Flamekill in play. Pyromancer's really bad. So maybe we want Cut. It's awkward that we can't play Ribbons. We could do Insult Injuries, because it'll act like another Flamekill, but we really don't have the mana very often to really go ham with that. So we need this board state. Might be that we want more Braids. Yeah. I think I'm actually going to trim 2 Pyromancers and up these Abrades, and the reason being is our Pyromancers are just going to die for free to their Chain Whirlers. And this carries Zev's expertise. That has some potential. But I might be just bringing too much if I do that. Maybe we trim like a Bomat Courier for an expertise. Let's try this. Again, I don't know the deck very much. I'm going to start doing that. I wasn't. That's a good point. I'm not being responsible. So let's pull that up. We have the 1-drop. We don't have the 1-drop we want, but we have a 1-drop. We have a 2-drop. We need to land for these 3 drops. So we're going to keep this one, but this hand is not amazing. It's going to need some help to really get there. So let's go to here. And drive. Alright, so we're gonna rename. Alright, so opponent kept their 7. They thought about it for a little while. That's unfortunate. We're going Kinra here because we're going to go and get some damage in. And also, say we miss a land on the top deck, we draw a 1-drop, we can go double 1-drop. If we go Soulscar Mage, even though that's better with a next turn Chain Whirler, it doesn't do quite enough for us. They're also like they're sitting on a very controlling hand. So we can go Soul Scar, cancel. Let's attack first. So we play Soul Scar. If they try to spray the Soul Scar, we can Wizard's Lightning to survive it. If they like Lightning Strike or Braid it. I want to get my hand empty, so if at some point we decide to just go for the Flame of Kelks for missing land drops, I'm not losing as many cards in the process. Oh. That hurts. Come on, land. This is not shaping out to be good. Kinra can't even threaten that card. We still just play the Kinra. I'm not in a position where I really think Kelding is right necessarily at this point. So we're just going to play the Earthshaker. Alright, so Pia. Could be worse. Could have been another Chain Whirler. Alright. Now they get to turn the corner. We're still sitting looking awkwardly at this mana. Give me a land. One time. It's not land. So we're just going to pass. We're going to let them go to their combat. We're going to decide what needs to be killed at this point. Alright. Chandra. 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're about to go to 8, but we basically have to kill this Chandra, because that Chandra's way too much pressure. Oh. That's lovely. Discard a card. If that permanent is a Chandra Planeswalker, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Yes, we will do that. We're going to loot one of these Chain Whirlers. Oh, hey, is that still changed to another title? Heh. Edit that. MTGO, Mono, Red, Wizards. Thanks, Matt. Sean. That helps. It would be helpful if the information was correct, right? Alright, so we get to blow up this Thopter token. I'm actually willing to just trade this Earthshaker for that Pia. Just straight up. That's fine. I tried to change the name. It might not let me while I'm streaming, so we'll see. I wish, man. I would go to Hogwarts over any other experience. I think I have to just trade this. Do I? No, just taking it. This expertise kind of changes the line of things. So by having expertise, like if they go Phoenix, I can 7 them on the spot. I could also go carry Zev's expertise on their Chain Whirler, 8 them down to 4. That'd be pretty sweet, right, Matt? I think I would rather Hogwarts over the TARDIS, right? All the aliens are creepy and Doctor Who. But Harry Potter, everything looks sweet. Alright, so we're going to go on expertise now. I don't think the additional 2 damage is worth as much as playing this Flamekilled. I think being able to draw 3 cards next turn is worth more. That's fine. Alright, and Hazard can't attack or block currently. Alright, so we get to draw. Come on! What is this? Alright, so we ripped 3, and they're all lands. So yeah. Can our opponent get 2 cards out of their hand? Play a land, throw a card with Hazaret? This is... that figures. Alright, so we start off... I was told, I haven't played the matchup, but I was told this matchup's not great. But goodness, was that awful. So, you know, there's that. Just waiting on my opponent to kill my lands. Goodness, this is the worst experience of my life. Okay. Oh man, online? I don't care. Well, yeah, that theory works with the Hogsmeade and appearing there at any time if we are saying it's all in the same realm, but we don't know that. Alright, so we lose to red-black.